Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm Tanya and I'm gonna start today's video by talking about work. You guys know work, not any other work, the work that you do which pays you, you make a living out of it, the passion, I'm talking about that work. So first of all, we have heard all about it and been through the immense pressure and stress of work. The energy that the workload drains out of you at the end of the day is exhausting, and we all know that. There are times when work overpowers our personal life, and at that time we somehow lose calm and patience. I'm a workaholic, so thus to escape all of this, we take vacations, days off, spend time with friends and family, and even sometimes reach out for precious me time, which we all love so much, right? So this is where, but there's also a very good side to work, and I'm not talking about the financial freedom that works give you. Like you can pursue all the materialistic needs of yours and do whatever you like. That independence, that's good. But I'm talking about a different kind of good side. I'm talking about the emotional and the very human impact of work on people's life. So first, work helps or is actually the biggest tool to keep away unnecessary and distracting thoughts from harming our minds. It helps us to concentrate and engage our energies in more significant tasks. Work helps a person even become more organized, disciplined, and not just within the work, it also helps them in general circumstances. Then work teaches the time of significance of time and time management skills that also you can somehow apply in your life, I think. But at the end of the day, work is also very stressing. But what happens that sometimes life goes through such tumultuous times that the only getaway we need is work. At such times, engrossing ourselves in work helps us cope with, whatever issue we are going through and also get a clear perspective. And this perspective of work can be seen beautifully adopted by Chadwick Bozeman, our Black Panther, Chadwick Bozeman. So his death was one of the biggest shocks of 2020. It was a big shock because mostly no one saw it coming, and even the close people, even the colleagues, even the friends, it was big shock because Chadwick himself chose not to publicize the news that he was suffering from cancer. They even say that Marvel didn't know. I'm not sure, but I've read it somewhere. So anyway, the thing is, majority of people did not know that he was going through cancer because he was working. He did not stop. He did not stop for anything. He just kept on working and working. And when I heard about that, a question kind of constantly hit my head, why? Why did he choose to work when he could have very easily, taken a break? Why did he choose to work? I mean, he could have taken a break. And I'm not talking about just working for a month or two, 1-2 mahine ke liye nahi. For 4.5 years, 2016, Chadwick Bozeman knew that he was suffering from cancer back in 2016, and he worked till now, till 2020. Even few days before he died, he was participating in the projects, talking about it, discussing, thinking that he's gonna beat it. But alas, we all lost him. But anyway, so going through Google and trying to know more and more about his death, I came across a very good article that actually sort of gave me closure of thinking why he was doing that. And it's a website called Quotes at Work. Go check it out because it's a very good website. There are a lot of good articles, and as they have good articles, it was a very good curated article about Chadwick Bozeman. And the thing that most fascinated me was the title, and it said Chadwick Bozeman reminds us that work can be a refuge during illness. And so let's see how was it how it helped Chadwick to navigate himself or make himself stronger during these times. Work. Okay, so the lines that I'm gonna read out to you, actually I just noted it down from the article. It was actually those lines were from Dr. Wendy Likentalk. Sorry, I cannot pronounce her title properly, so we're gonna refer her as Dr. Wendy. So Dr. Wendy says in the article, illness kicks up existential distress. I'm going to read out, okay? Reminds us of our vulnerability and that life is finite. And it's a natural question. Like, of course, it's a natural question. What have I done with my life? How have I used my life? These are the questions. Because if you're suffering from cancer and death can be knocking your door anytime soon, these existential questions are going to start banging your head. She says, as you know, work is often a large part of people's identities. Maintaining a job can be reassuring. Yeah, I believe so. People's self-worth and their own way of understanding and appreciating themselves comes from the satisfaction they get out of work, out of their passion, to see something productive happening around them. So of course that can really help people at those times. And especially for patients with cancer, where the illness or treatment side effects result in physical limitations and changes, this can be extremely important to feel like oneself, to feel like one is not defined by their disease. Of course, because here as humans, we have a tendency to plan everything, and we love when things are under our control. We know what's happening, we know what we're going to do next. But illness like this, banging on the head, banging on our door, can really, mess with our state of mind. So that's why I feel one should stop feeling that they're defined by their disease. They need to feel, they have power on themselves. Then she says, work can be the much needed distraction during a scary and chaotic time. If anxiety is all about what we can't control in future, focusing your efforts on what you can control in the present can be like an antidote. And that is so needed, because this disease that just came to you, it's just out of blue, it came to you, and now it's taking control of your life. It's taking control of your physical, mental health. So when you go out to work, you feel in control, you feel empowered, and I think that can really work as an antidote. But let's talk about Bozeman's case. Okay. So according to Bozeman's producing partner Logan Coates, you see, the actor was not much concerned, about the discrimination that he would get from people, in the way that all the people would start looking up to him as a sick man, as a person who's sick, as a person who's going through cancer. But that was not Bozeman's concern. What Chadwick was afraid and what he did not want was people to look up to him less as an artist and more as a sick person, as a person who's going through cancer. Because he did not want people to think that now, he did not want people to have sympathy on him, I guess, and also think that he has now limitations. He cannot give 100% to his work. He did not want people to perceive him that way. He wanted the respect as an artist, not as a sick person. Sympathy and love for him as an artist, not a sick person. So it's a beautiful thing that Bozeman wanted the way he worked through cancer to be a part of his legacy. You see, it was not like he was working, doing great work, and then one day suddenly he got cancer, and the next thing you know, he's not there with us anymore. He had cancer, he worked through it, he created an exceptional legacy for himself. Cole says that in his last conversation about work with Chadwick, he said, "Tell them what we did. Tell them all the work that was done and what I had to go through to tell those stories." That's just mind-blowing, and that's the words of a true hero, I feel. Yeah, I have so much respect for that person. So the last thing from Dr. Wendy, which is actually very inspiring. She says, "You are not your illness. The qualities and the traits that define you can emerge until your last breath. Your work can be your legacy, and your choice to work can be your legacy too. That said, this should not communicate a message that one should work or lead to people feeling guilty or inadequate if they cannot work. Each situation is individual and unique." My God, those are such precious and such inspiring words. Because yeah, this needed to be addressed because after his death, a lot of people started saying, people with cancer should go ahead and work and be like Bozeman. No, 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 no. Cancer itself is a very difficult thing to go through. And one other thing that I've not noted down, but I read in the article, Wendy said, especially with the cancer patients, they go to the bed thinking in a certain way, having a mindset, maybe they are strong today, and they get up being completely in depression. So it keeps on changing because this is a very horrific thing happening to them. And on face of that, they have to go through the treatments. And for cancer, it's not just popping pills and just getting some injections, you're well to, good to go. You have to go through painful chemotherapies and so many loads, things that I don't even know, but I know that it's very painful. So it's people's choice. And if we talk about Chadwick, because he's a celebrity, we know there are a lot of people out there, unsung heroes, I would say, who we don't know but are battling, some because of financial distress. I think they have to work in spite of whatever is going on with them, and some maybe they're so passionate about their work, so whatever helps them get mentally strong, get up from the bed, face the situation, fight with it, all just to survive, and that is commendable. And in Chadwick Boseman's case, what was the most commendable thing was the consistency with his state of mind. You see, 2016, as I said, and he had been working till 2020. I think till his last breath, he was trying to beat it and work through it, but he couldn't. But still, look at the consistency. He thought that he would get up, he would work, in spite of any kind of pain he goes through. And he did. And he did it so beautifully that he left this legacy to inspire people and love him and respect him. So guys, that was Chadwick Boseman's little tribute from my side. All I wanted to honor him and his work. He has some amazing movies that you can go forward. He always chose projects that just wasn't for entertainment. There were always some messages. He portrayed some big personalities, eminent personalities, some good message with all good messages from his movies. But more, if you want to know about him and fall in love with that person, you need to see his interviews. He's so down to earth and has a very different perception of the world and people and things around him. Especially, I would recommend you to watch his interview with Trevor Noah in The Daily Show, especially when he was promoting, I think, Black Panther. So he was this guy, the first black person to be a Marvel hero, and Marvel movie, it's so extravagant, but you would see him so down to earth, and his words and his thought process is so beautiful. You guys must check it out. So that was all, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked it, and thank you. Bye bye.